Well, it's been a while. Greetings, fellow nerds. Over the past while, I've been running polls on Twitter to try and find out what would be the best crew for a fictional starship. And I also ran a poll on what would be the best name for that ship. Now, the names for the poll, that's down on me, but you've only yourselves to blame for these results. I gave you every opportunity and a chance to put names in the comments, so there. Now, one thing I did do was I chose no more than 2 characters in any category from the same franchise. And if possible, I tried to spread it out among different franchises to give it a chance, because not all of us watch the same franchises or are as invested. I could have picked all of them from Trek. I wouldn't do that because I'm a bigger fan of other franchises, but I could have. So what were the polls? The name of the ship will be up first. Then pilots, security officer, science officer, chief medical officer, engineer, first officer, and captain. So gather your pitchforks, battering ram, and let's begin. So first up, we better name the ship. And the first ship in the poll was White Star 1 from Babylon 5. The second ship name up for consideration is the Enterprise from Star Trek. The third ship in the vote was the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. The final ship up for selection was Galactica from Battlestar Galactica. Honestly, I don't think there was any surprise in the winner of this one, and it was the Enterprise from Star Trek. Now, let's get the crew for the ship. For Helmsman pilot of the ship, I thought it better to pick 2 rather than 1. So for the first vote, the top 2 were chosen. And the nominees are, or should I say recruits, are Hikaru Sulu from Star Trek, the original series. The next candidate is Hoban Washburn, or Wash, from Firefly. The next candidate to pilot the Enterprise is Alex Kamal from The Expanse. And the final candidate is Tom Paris from Star Trek Voyager. And the 2 pilots or helmsmen selected by you are Hoban Washburn from Firefly and Tom Paris from Star Trek Voyager. 2 good pilots, and not bad choices, people. Not bad at all. Now, next position up for recruitment is the security chief. And considering that there may be a few contentious issues in this video, I think we need to select a good one. So first up is Roberta Bobby Draper from The Expanse. The second candidate is Michael Garibaldi from Babylon 5. The third candidate is Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. The fourth candidate is Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager. This vote was a lot closer than I was expecting. However, the anticipated winner did come out on top, and that is, of course, Worf from Star Trek. Now, Michael Garibaldi did push him close, but Worf still won out by a few votes. Next position up for a vote was the Chief Science Officer. Now, in the list you may notice an omission. He's not actually omitted. Spock is in a vote later in this video, so keep an eye out and stick around. First candidate for Chief Science Officer was Rodney McKay from Stargate Atlantis. The second candidate is Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. The next candidate is Colonel Samantha Carter from Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. The fourth candidate is Seven of Nine, or Annika Hansen from Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Picard. Now this was certainly the most interesting vote. Every candidate ended with exactly the same number of votes. So, to break the tie, I decided to have a discussion with some friends after a live stream, and everyone on that panel, including myself, chose this person. And as I was running the poll, I decided that's who I'm going to pick, and that is Colonel Samantha Carter. I think we can all agree this candidate is perfect for the position. Now, the next position up on the ship for vote is the Chief Medical Officer, and I tried to pick from across different franchises. So here are the candidates for the position. Dr. Stephen Franklin from Babylon 5. The Doctor from Star Trek Voyager. Leonard McCoy, aka Bones, from Star Trek The Original Series. And the fourth candidate is Dr. Sherman Cottle from Battlestar Galactica. Now, while all of these doctors are excellent, there was a clear winner with over 50% of the vote, and that was Bones, Dr. Leonard McCoy. Now, the next position up for a vote was the Chief Engineer. Again, I tried to spread this around a bit, so I picked from a couple of franchises. First up for the vote is Naomi Nagata from The Expanse. Second candidate is Chief Miles Edward O'Brien from Stargate The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. The next was Montgomery Scott, or Scotty, from Star Trek The Original Series. The final candidate is Chief Galen Tyrrell from Battlestar Galactica. Honestly, I would have been shocked if the vote had gone any other way. The person chosen as Chief Engineer is Scotty, aka Montgomery Scott. Now it's time to choose the first officer for the ship. And the first candidate for that position is the seemingly eternal first officer, William Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Picard. The second candidate is Susan Ivanova from Babylon 5. Now you can put down your pitchforks for the science officer. The third candidate is Spock from Star Trek The Original Series. The final candidate for first officer is Saul Tigh from Battlestar Galactica. This vote ended out very close as well, with the top two candidates finishing out even, so I reran another poll to choose one first officer, and that choice was Spock. So really guys, put down the pitchforks over him not being in the poll for science officer. Okay, so now it's time to pick the captain for the ship of Best Crew in Sci-Fi as voted for by you. So grab your pitchforks and let's go through the candidates. I chose one captain from 4 different franchises, which meant from the Star Trek franchise it was a choice between Kirk and Picard. Honestly, I flipped a coin to choose. So, representing Star Trek is Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Picard. The next candidate is Captain John Newcomb Woohoo Sheridan from Babylon 5. The third candidate is William Husker Adama from Battlestar Galactica. The fourth candidate is James Holden from The Expanse. Now, before I announce who you voted for as captain, let's run through the crew. At the helm we have Tom Paris and Hoban Washburn. Security Chief Worf. Chief Science Officer Samantha Carter. Chief Medical Officer Leonard Bones McCoy. Chief Engineer Montgomery Scott, or Scotty. At First Officer we have Spock. And so finally, now that we've met the crew, let's reveal who the captain is. And the captain is Captain John Sheridan from Babylon 5.
Yes!
So there is a crew as chosen by you. Now I should add, if I hadn't put it to the vote, who would I change out? Really? I think this is a pretty solid crew. I may change out one of the helmsmen, probably Wash for Data. Data has operated as helmsman, is also a good science officer and would work well in security. Doctor is pretty solid. I would have chosen Franklin, but McCoy is also an excellent choice. So that's it. What do you think? Do you agree with your own choices? Who would you have picked? Let me know in the comments. Now, I may make this a regular thing, once a year, once every 6 months, and see how your choices change. See how my choices change. I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to thank you for voting on Twitter. I want to thank you for the support you've given me here. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. But either way, please let me know in the comments. How can I improve? Where did I go right? Where did I go wrong? If you want to add your own list, please feel free. And if you're running polls on Twitter yourself to pick this, leave in the comments below and let people follow the link. Guys, fellow nerds, thank you so much. I hope to see you all again soon, and I hope I haven't scared you away with these choices. They are your choices after all. So, may you all get to heaven a half hour before the devil knows you're dead. Thank you, fellow nerds. God bless.
Woo-hoo